So hello and welcome back to another video. Now today we're out on this glorious day and we're going to be doing some very light float fishing. Now I'm not going to lie, the target species which would be absolutely ideal is going to be a mullet. However, if I catch any black bream or garfish or even possibly mackerel or something like that on some very small hooks baited with a little bit of bread, then I'll be more than happy. Now I'm just about to set up, or not set up, but I'll set up my rod in a second. I'm about to make a chum mix. Now basically all I have in here is literally half a bucket of seawater, and then I'm just going to break up all this bread to go into it. I'm going to do one loaf for now, and then I'll also be adding just a very tiny touch of fish oil, which is this stuff here. As you can see, that is a very old bottle, been getting pretty mouldy in my shed. So yeah, we're coming up to high water. High water's in about an hour and a half. It's small tides today, so over the next few hours the tide's really not going to move too much at all, which is ideal for float fishing here. I'm just going to be casting the rod out straight behind me, and hopefully with that chum mix working, after an hour or so we might see some action. So let's get all this bread in here, and then we'll give it a mix up. Just get your hands straight in there and just mash up all that bread. You just don't want any really big bits really, because you want the bait on your hook, which isn't that big anyway, but you want that to be the thing that sticks out. Now obviously it's just going to absorb all that water even more over the next few minutes. It's always best to use your hand for it, but then a good tip is when you go to put the fish oil in, that's when you want to use your ladle, because this stuff stinks. I'm not going to put too much in there, just a drop. Ideally, if there's mullet about, I want to attract the mullet with the bread. The fish oil really is just to attract any other species and get a bit more scent in the water. So that's it, ready to go. So I'm going to get some in the water straight away and let that settle while I'm setting everything else up. So the rod I'm using today is a 12-foot Daiwa, I think it's called a Theory Specialist. And like I said, I'm just using regular mullet float tactics. So we got a little, I think that's a 4-gram float on there. I've got 8-pound line the whole way through on the reel, 4,000 size reel, which should be fine. I did have a 2,000 on there, but it's seized up lately. It's in desperate need of a service. So I've got a hook length of about 4 foot, and I'm going to set the depth to about 8 foot to start with, and then obviously we can just adjust it if we need to. We'll go deeper, shallower, whatever. If anything, you're going to go deeper because the tide's going to rise a little, but if you see the fish high up in the water column, you can always go shallower. That's not easy on these rocks. Now I'm using a size 10 hook, and then to bait up, just a slice of bread, fold it in half. I'm just going to pinch a bit off it. And basically just pinch it onto the hook. You want a little bit of hook exposure as well. So really, very simple stuff. However, I wouldn't class it simple catching mullet because it's taken me a fair few tries. But there we go, there's the bait there. So I'm going to get this in the water straight away, and hopefully we see some fish today. Well, I knew I knew it wouldn't take long for the garfish to show up. As I was reeling the bait in then, you could see 5 or 6 of them following it in. So it shows that ground bait's working already, getting the scent out there. I haven't seen any mullet swim past or anything, but hopefully we can just catch some fish. If I catch any garfish, I'll keep a few. I'll put them in the freezer for bait, for future bait sessions. And the bream would be nice too. If we get a nice sized bream, I can cook it up. But I think we'll have to wait quite a while for the bream to come in if they're here. Because it is very close, you're fishing very close in. So if you were fishing a bait, casting it out with a 4 or 5 ounce lead, I'm sure you'd find 1 or 2 bream over the next few hours. But with that ground bait working, hopefully the scent will draw them in, bring them closer. Just seen my first mullet swim right past here. It didn't look that big, but that was definitely a mullet. Now then, maybe I drive over that side. See the garfish following it again. Well, I have no idea what happened there, but my float has just snapped. Now I literally just got a bite, the float went under and I lifted into it, and then all of a sudden this just pings out the water. So what I'm guessing is, I reckon I've probably banged it on the rock previously, and it's at a weak point and it's just snapped. But I've just seen some more mullet. There's loads of garfish around. I've just seen some more mullet, but they literally just cruise past. They got no interest in hanging around, you know. I'm literally just seeing them swim past close by. So I'm getting a few hits down here in this corner, which I've been chumming for about half an hour now. And I'm pretty sure they're all just garfish. But I'm gonna have to set another float up now and we'll get back in there. Oh, missed it. Bloody buggers. Now I'm actually a little surprised I'm not hooking up, because these are really small hooks. This is size 10, and if these are garfish, well, I'm a little surprised that they're not just swimming into the bait and nailing it. Now there is a chance they could be mullet, but I don't think so. Apart from seeing the mullet just swim past, I can't see any down there. And I keep seeing the garfish come up and they're eating the bread off the surface. I've adjusted the depth on my float and I've made it shallower. So I'm fishing at about 4 foot, 5 foot. So after so long, I've finally caught a fish. Now I've been getting bites galore, and honestly I've just not been able to hook anything. It's been so frustrating. But this fish took, and I thought, it's got to be a garfish. And then it gave a good account of itself, and I thought, oh, could it be a little mullet? But it is in fact a nice sized black bream. All right, mate. Very lively black bream, but lovely size that. Great eating size, so I'll be keeping this. I can just get that hook out. There we go. He's gonna go, he's gonna flap. Oh, but there we go. Lovely black bream there. Oh, he's gone again. There we are. Lovely black bream. I'll be keeping this one for a cook. He's not happy in my hands. Well, it's definitely not been a blinder of a session, that's for sure. Still getting bites, but everything that's been hitting the float today has been so damn difficult to actually hook. Now, like I said before, I'm using size 10 hooks, and I think this is a learning curve, because next time I go down to size 14, I think, and just see if that makes a difference. I mean, a size 10 is still a very small hook, which a black bream or a garfish or a mullet you'd expect to take quite easily. But it's been really frustrating. But it's just one of those things. You live and you learn. So I mean, I'll give it another 20-25 minutes and then I'll probably head off. Well, what can I say? That's not how I planned this session going, but they happen sometimes. Sometimes it's difficult, frustrating, sometimes the fish are there. In my case today, there was plenty of fish about, just hooking them was really difficult. Now I did get that one black bream, so I think what I'll do is I will make a video out of this and I'll cook it up later on. So please join me in the next bit of this video where you'll see me cooking up this black bream. So welcome back. Now it's the next day and it's the evening now. I've been at work all day, but I'm about to cook up that bream. Now what I'm going to do is keep this really simple, just like every other catch and cook on my channel. I've got my bream here, and what I did yesterday when I came home after my fishing session is I gutted the fish, I scaled it, I've taken the head off, and then I've just scored it. I'm going to cook it whole, obviously without the head, just pan fried, but I'm going to make a seasoning with some coriander seeds, some fennel seeds, some cumin, some ground coriander. I've got some chili, bit of olive oil, some salt. So all I've done so far is I've just toasted the coriander seeds and the fennel seeds in a pan, lightly toast them. I've got them in a pestle and mortar here, so I'm going to ground those up, and then I'm going to add the other ground spices, the seasoning, the oil, and then rub it into the fish, pan fry it, and very simply I'm just having it with some mixed salad and some bread. So I'll show you what I'm going to do to the fish, and let's get to it. So we've got our seeds here. Very simply, just want to slightly crush them up. You still want them to be a little bit coarse because it's nice to have that texture. So that is basically it there. And then what we'll do is I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of salt, just regular table salt, and then about half a teaspoon of ground cumin, and then more coriander, but this time ground coriander. Again, half a teaspoon. Got some dried rosemary. Now obviously you can make this up as you go along. You can add whatever you like. I'm just adding what I have. And then I'm going to put some fresh chili in there. These are homegrown chilies from my brother. And then a drop of olive oil. And I'll give that a little mix up. And that is it. So you'll be able to see here what you wind up with. It's just a lovely little paste there, full of flavour. That's going to penetrate into the fish when we cook it. So let's get the fish marinated and into the pan. So just very simply rub that in. And where you've scored the fish here, just want all of that to go into the flesh. Flip it over. Now this sort of seasoning works really well with mackerel as well, but obviously it goes very well with bream or bass. You could do it with. So that's pretty much it. We'll get the pan on and get it cooking.
Now what I always tend to do is put the pan on sort of a fairly moderate heat, get some heat into it, put the fish in and then turn it down straight away. So you don't want that to cook the outside too quickly. You want it to be a nice sort of, not slow, but consistent heat the whole way through. And then obviously once it starts to caramelise, you can flip it over and finish it the other side. Fish doesn't take long to cook at all. So I reckon this will take about 8 or 9 minutes. Right, we're ready to go. The fish is done. I'm just going to gently place it on there. Just like that. And take a look at that. Beautiful black bream, done very simply. Pan fried, but tons of flavour. So as you can see, looks absolutely delicious. Can't wait to get tucked into this. So let's give it a taste test. I'm looking forward to this. Oh wow. Now that just flakes off. Now you can just pick out any tiny little bones, but that looks pretty amazing if you ask me. Oh. Oh my God. This is hands down one of my favourite ways to do fish. The subtle spices honestly go so well with fish. I was introduced to this about 6 or 7 years ago with mackerel and pan fried it, and it goes super crispy, but it's so tender and so flaky because you're cooking it on the bone. And honestly, it works. It's so simple, but it really works. Well, that is amazing. That is really good. Black bream is such a lovely fish as well, because it's so meaty. Oh. And cooking fish on the bone, there's just something about it. It's like when you cook meat on the bone, whether it's like a chicken leg or something like that. There's just so much more flavour in there. What a meal. It's been so hot today, so this is the perfect meal. Not too heavy, but packed, absolutely packed full of flavour. Oh. As I said, this is great with mackerel, but obviously you can do it. This is fantastic with black bream, fantastic. You could do it with bass, you could do it with gilthead bream, many different fish, but something meaty like this, yeah, definitely works. So you can see there, just flakes off the bone, like that. Nice big flakes, and the crispy skin is something else. So anyway, I'm not going to pretend like that fishing session was a blinder. It was frustrating to say the least. There were tons of fish there. I was getting mullet, follow the lure. Basically, because there were so many garfish, I ran to my car and got a lure rod. I was chucking out a little 15-gram Sidewinder switchblade, silver flashing switchblade, and the mullet were chasing it in. There were just fish everywhere. There were loads of garfish jumping out. The reasons why I couldn't hook them on the float, I really don't know. The reason why I kept this fish is because I put so many, hours into that session to get one nice sized black bream out of it. I thought to myself, that's definitely worth a keeper. What a perfect late summer meal. It's been baking hot today, absolutely baking. And this is ideal. And there you go. Peel the bone right out. So, I must say, this is, I mean, I actually haven't done a catch and cook in quite some time. And I probably said this on the last catch and cook I did, but this is seriously, seriously good. So, give it a try. Alter the seasoning, put in what you like, but if you stick to those main things, that's where the flavour is. That's the type of flavour you want with this fish. But anyway, I'm going to leave the video there and polish this off. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really, really appreciate it. As always, I appreciate all the feedback I get on the channel. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I know it's been a little bit slack lately with how many videos are going up, but I've been pretty busy. I'm actually away next week doing the Dorset Lure Comp, so hopefully I'll be able to catch some fish and make a video out of that, and I'll upload that when I come back. The day this video goes out is actually the day I'll be leaving to go over there for a few days. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Got to get my gear sorted, but in the meantime, I'm going to finish this. And once again, thank you very much for watching this video. I thoroughly appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Amazing.